just coming out 35 yards on the first play from scrimmage. How do you think that sets the tone for not only your entire team, but especially the running backs in that room when those young guys are able to close things out in the second half?
I think he just, got the ball rolling for a very special offense that we had. I feel like first play, no matter if it was to me or to somebody else, the tone would have got set regardless.
Right here on the right, Zach.
I think a lot of fans were probably surprised by what Jordan did today with team leading 3 touchdowns. But are you guys surprised by that at all? Have you seen that stuff from him in practice?
Oh, yeah. I'm not surprised at all. We get down by the goal line, nobody's stopping him from getting 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. He a big back man, and he runs with a lot of power, and he showed that today.
Right here on the right.
You've been here for a while now, and you've never really been the number one guy. What was it like to finally get that call as like the number one back for this team?
I mean, it felt good, but honestly, I'm more of a team-oriented person anyway, so I kind of didn't really feel any different because I'm more of like whenever you get your opportunity, you make the most out of the type of person. So,
Middle, Matt.
Landing and samples during fall camp were very high on the depth of your room, and obviously we saw that depth today. What does that say about your guys' potential, and just what's the benefits for you as a runner, the depth and be able to play so many guys?
I think it says a lot, honestly. Potential and routine as well. Like at our room, we pride ourselves on our process, so we do a lot of extra stuff as a group, throughout the week that I feel like helps us separate ourselves from the rest of the running back rooms in the country, and I feel like we put that on display today.
Front left, Aaron.
You mentioned you're a team guy, maybe not thinking too much individually, but did it pump you up at all competitively when they brought in a high-end transfer to compete with you for the starting job?
Yeah, I'm more of I like competition regardless. I've been competing since I've gotten here, so yeah, it pumped me up. Yeah.
Right here, third row. On the left.
What did you make of Dier's ability to create chunk plays out of the backfield and make those explosives as a guy who is a true freshman? We don't really take the rock like that.
It wasn't any surprise to us. I mean, this is what Dier does on a daily at practice, so I'm expecting to see a lot more of that this year from him.
Right here on the left.
You've been a part of some really talented running back rooms, 2023 with Bucky Irving, last season with Jordan James. This season, Mekhi Hugh transfers over. What is the talent in those rooms? How does it motivate you? And then how are you motivating the other players in that running back room?
I think iron sharpens iron regardless. So Coach Shumples always says it, like, every day you got to come to practice like you got something to prove. And I feel like that's kind of been the expectation of the running back room since I've been here, since we have had so many good backs. But, yeah, I think the standard is definitely still high, yeah.
Right here on the right, Zach.
Second year in a row, you guys have had a pretty new look offensive line going into the season. Obviously, it gelled really quickly this year, 6.5 yards per carry today. How do you think they played up front and blocked for you guys?
I mean, I think the numbers speak for themselves. They absolutely dominated the trenches today, and that comes from them having their routine as well, as a group. Not only do they hang out a lot at the facility doing extra, whether it's lifting or on the field going through their pass pro, but they do a lot outside the field to help that chemistry because, O-line, they all got to work on one accord. And I feel like they showed that chemistry today.
Front left, Aaron.
Dante has admitted that he has a long way to go to get to the level of Bo and Dylan, but how would you assess his command and composure today?
I thought he did a great job, honestly. We had a couple of pressures, and he got us into checks that we talked about all week, and they created explosives. And I felt like for him, this only being his second year, honestly, being the leading quarterback, he did a great job of taking what we did all week and applying it to today.
Two more. Matt in the middle.
Kind of along those lines, where have you seen his growth since he showed up back in January of 2024?
I would definitely say being more of a vocal leader, understanding and taking that role of being QB1 and, directing the offense, not only the offense, but the team in general. Definitely does a great job of words of encouragement throughout the week. When we break it down, like on Wednesdays when we have recovery days, he'll break it down at the end. And, he has some real positive words that'll get us fired up. And I feel like that plays a huge role when the season comes because, you look to your leaders to be the standard. And I feel like he sets the standard and he shows us all what it is to be a young quarterback.
Last question right here on the right.
Hey, Noah. I asked the same question to Dante, but how much did you guys want to make a statement today and come out and really have a strong opener as opposed to Idaho last year?
I feel like we just wanted to come out and play against Oregon better than what we played against Oregon last year. You know, we always talk about throughout the week, we're not playing an opponent, we're playing ourselves. And I feel like last year, coming out against Idaho, we didn't beat ourselves. You know, this year we really said that we were going to, you know, hone in on the details, you know, not beat ourselves, which I feel like we did a great job of today because I think we only had like maybe 2 penalties, you know, so that's a big growth for us as a team. And I think, you know, we did that today.